WYMT and Eastern Kentucky has lost a friend and a longtime member of our mountain family. It is my sad duty tonight to report former chief forecaster Brandon Robinson died after a nearly decade-long battle with brain cancer. He was 42 years old. We begin this special tribute with a look back at his career, which included covering some of the biggest weather events of the past 2 decades.
The Lord has been with me so much through the years. When you love where you work, there's not a day that goes by that you dread going to work.
Brandon decided to make his retirement announcement on May 14, 2024, exactly 17 years after his first day at WYMT and a few months after his 3rd brain surgery.
I want to thank Eastern Kentucky for welcoming me in their homes. I want to thank for all the folks who woke up with me 17 years.
After graduating from Morehead State University, Brandon, a proud native of Cumberland and Harlan County, started his career behind the scenes at WYMT, but weather was always what he wanted to do, and soon he got his chance. For the next decade and a half, Brandon covered countless severe weather events, including 2 of the most significant ones in Eastern Kentucky's history, the March 2, 2012 tornado outbreak and the catastrophic flooding of July 2022.
All right, just after 1 o'clock, and we're on the air and on Facebook. A lot of folks have been wanting these updates, and we've got a lot to talk about. Flash flood emergency is in effect until 4:30. Catastrophic damage possible. This is why we're telling you to stay at home, people. The flood water is already coming up on the tire there. This is not safe to be out in.
My wife was texting me pictures from our house, and we were very fortunate that we didn't have water in the house, but she sent me a picture. It was basically at the bottom of our steps, and I had never seen the creek that high at our house.
He lost both of his parents while working at WYMT, but also met the woman who would always be by his side. He called marrying Stephanie in October 2014 the best day of his life. Brandon was on stage with me when we proudly accepted WYMT's first Emmy Award. We shared many tough moments together, but lots of fun times too.
They have designated me an official hillbilly. So, yeehaw, we're glad to be here, and we'll have much more fun coming up tonight at 6 o'clock.
Well, that hat really suits you, Brandon. It might prevent a sunburn.
You like that? It might. I don't know, that bald head of mine, you never know.
Thank you so much for the sound effects.
B-Rob, as many of us called him, loved to laugh. He loved his friends, Star Trek, Peanuts characters, Boston Terriers, and he loved Christmas.
On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
He was always open about his health struggles, from his weight loss surgery to brain cancer.
Until I came out with my diagnosis, brain cancer wasn't talked about. But I've been very public about my diagnosis, and people have came out of the woodwork.
Brandon and his wife created Gray Matters Whitesburg, an organization that continues to raise awareness about brain cancer through an annual 5K, 10K race and other events. After retirement, Brandon continued to live life to the fullest, making bucket list trips as communities continued to thank him for a job well done.
We officially named this porch in your honor the Brandon Robinson Porch.
I have expressive aphasia, which means I'm in here, but I can't communicate clearly. And my right hand is still not well. If those never get better, God's blessed me. God's blessed me to stay on this earth.
I'm grateful for the viewers. I'm just grateful that they have stick with me through the years.
Funeral arrangements have not been made yet. We will, of course, share that information as soon as it becomes available. Folks from throughout the WYMT coverage area and far beyond are remembering Brandon Robinson today. Here in Hazard, Betsy Clemens and Janet Prater-Smith with Hazard Perry County Chamber of Commerce released this statement today. Quote, "We are deeply saddened by the loss of someone so special, one of the most giving and wonderful friends we've ever known. He was always our favorite weatherman, especially because of his love for snow. Though he is no longer with us, he will forever be missed and will always live in our hearts." Born and raised in Cumberland in Harlan County, Brandon would return home to Harlan County briefly during his time at WYMT. He took a hiatus from the station a couple different times to work with Southeast Community and Technical College, and also with as Deputy Harlan County Judge Executive for a very short time. Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley, also a former WYMT reporter, said today, quote, "Brandon was extraordinarily special. He was one of a kind and one of the most genuinely caring people I have ever met or known. His wife Stephanie, family, friends, and WYMT family will be in my prayers in the days ahead." You know, since Tony Turner, I'm not sure anyone at WYMT, I know nobody at WYMT has ever been quite as beloved by the community as Brandon Robinson. Within the walls of the station, Brandon was more than a co-worker. He was our friend, family, and so much more. During his 17 years here, he has worked with dozens of co-workers, and each are remembering him in their own special way.
Because the man that you saw on that television was the man that he was behind the camera. He was the warm hug. He was the mountain accent. He was the glue that keeps us all together. And we're all going to be sad, but I'm just happy and so unbelievably blessed that I can cry these tears for someone as amazing as Brandon Robinson.
When I think of Eastern Kentucky and WYMT, I think of Brandon Robinson. He was the true meaning of the Mountain family. From the day that I met him, his impact never left, no matter the time or distance. He was the definition of a true friend.
To know B-Rob was to know family. He wasn't just a colleague to us at WYMT. He quickly became part of us, and through him, Stephanie did too. He shaped not only Marcus and me, but everyone around him. And to Eastern Kentucky, thank you for loving him too.
He said, "Don't be sad." And as much as all of us want to be sad today, we want to cry, we want to ask why, we know where he is. We know that he's in a better place. We know that he is healed. And Brandon would look at us today and he would say, "Don't be sad." And so I'm holding on to that.
We are posting many more co-worker tributes on our website. We've received so many today, and we thank you for all of those. Coming up, we welcome back to WYMT a former chief meteorologist and a friend of Brandon's. Shane Smith returns to the WYMT First Alert Weather Center to honor him.
Welcome back into a special edition of Mountain News as we remember Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith, and Brandon loved this view from Buffalo Mountain. He loved the mountains of eastern Kentucky. He loved the weather we had around here, and it's a gorgeous weather day right now, and it's pretty comfortable out there, friends. We're into the 80s for most of us. 80 in London, 79 Boonville, 79 Whitesburg. A little cooler across the mountain over into Virginia, and that's because pinpoint Dopplers tracking a few scattered showers. Had a few rumbles of thunder earlier. Those have since dissipated. Still a little rain in the western edge of Wise County. Also a few showers back towards Pennington Gap. But those are going to dissipate over the next couple hours. We've got a weak frontal system off to our south. It is dissipating, but it's going to be close enough that it may spark off a few more showers tomorrow and then Tuesday and Wednesday before a bigger system gets in here. Now, friends, if you'll indulge me a little bit, we're going to take a little bit of a road trip and hit some places that make me think of Brandon. And the first is Riverside, Iowa. And you're probably thinking, Shane, why are you talking about Iowa? Well, that's the future home of one Captain James T. Kirk. And Brandon was a huge Star Trek fan. In fact, some of the first conversations we ever had when I started interning with him was about Star Trek. We both love that franchise. Okay, we're heading over to Denver, Colorado. You know Brandon, you know he's a Broncos fan. There was nobody that was more happy in Eastern Kentucky in 2015 than Brandon Robinson right there when they won the Super Bowl. Now, that's a day that him and Tanner went up to Cincinnati to watch the Bengals and the Broncos play, but he was a huge Broncos fan. Santa Claus, Indiana. You guys know Brandon. You know why we're going here. He was a mountain Santa, and he loved Christmas more than about anybody I knew. Loved the decorations, loved the giving the gifts, loved the joy that comes with that special season. And then we head up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, the home of Charles Schultz, the creator of Peanuts. It's going to be a little bit soggy up there this week. And Brandon, he loved Peanuts. You guys know he named his dog Linus. He loved everything about it. And he even met a little redheaded girl, Stephanie, and they got married down at Foley Beach near Charleston, South Carolina. A few showers going to be heading down that way, but that was a very special place for them. A lot of good memories there. Back here in the mountains, a few spotty showers for the next couple of days. Only a 20-30% chance each day, mainly in the afternoon, so have that umbrella handy. But as we go into Thursday, a front will dive in. That will bring us a better chance of showers, and frankly, we need it. We are running a little bit of a deficit across the area. The drought is there, abnormally dry for a good chunk of the area, but some much needed rain going to dot the ground along with some of our tears. Labor Day forecast. Nobody was harder working than Brandon, but he'd probably be working tomorrow if he was still with us in Able. 76, what you can expect. And had to bring back refrigerator art one time with a little piece of my son Eli's art. He said he loved Brandon and he prayed for him every night. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast where the weekend is always in view. And we got a few showers heading our way, especially on Thursday, but overall some cooler weather to start the meteorological fall season, Steve.
Shane, great tribute. Brandon couldn't have picked a more beautiful day to leave us, the last day of meteorological summer. Brandon's career in broadcasting did not start on that weather wall at WYMT. It started behind the scenes as a producer and assignment editor. But after a very short time, he made his on-air debut. His love for weather certainly evident, and it culminated with him being named chief forecaster in 2023. WYMT reached out to former weather colleagues to hear how they are remembering him.
You know, when you say, like, I want to be that person when I grow up, like, I want to be Brandon Robinson when I grow up, because he just brings such a light into anybody that he touches, anybody's life. And I think if you got to know him, you knew how lucky you were to know him. And if you didn't get to know him, that's sad. But I think a lot of people did through the screens. Who you saw, like what you saw on TV with Brandon is who you got behind the scenes as well. He was kind, he was intentional, and he was just such a bright light. So today just seems a little bit more dim without him.
He's been, that center point of the weather community, even during the flooding in Eastern Kentucky. I mean, he stood there to protect the people and to protect the community.
Now, this is from the National Weather Service today. The NWS office in Jackson says they couldn't have had a better partner and friend to work with over the years. We will forever be indebted to his service. Even in tough times, he was always the light of hope and had a smile that made things a little better. His smile will continue to shine over these hills, and his memory will always be cherished. May it always be Christmas up in heaven, B-Rob. You deserve all the presents. While Brandon is probably best known for his time here at WYMT, a cause very close to his heart was Gray Matters. Coming up, a closer look at the Gray Matters organization.
Let better than bouillon magic begin when you scoop a spoonful and stir it in. Seared steaks and savory burgers delight. Skewered veggies or seasoned wings taste just right. Because everything is better with Better Than Bouillon. Let better than bouillon magic begin when you scoop a spoonful and stir it in. Chicken noodle, creamy rice, and more. Beef stir fry or fettuccine to adore. Because everything is better with Better Than Bouillon.
After Brandon was first diagnosed with brain cancer, he decided to fight a very public battle, partnering with his wife Stephanie to create the group Gray Matters. The organization was founded in 2018 and has hosted 8 awareness runs, organized galas, and brought stories of brain cancer to the forefront, all while raising tens of thousands of dollars to help uplift other brain cancer fighters and survivors. Each run honored a different person diagnosed with brain cancer. The 2025 honoree was Brandon himself, and though he was unable to join the participants on the track this year, he sat at the finish line the whole time and cheered us all on. Though Brandon was a Cumberland native, he and his wife Steph called Letcher County home, and the community has claimed him proudly. Whitesburg Mayor Tiffany Kraft says she met Brandon more than 16 years ago when he was in Whitesburg doing guest weather during the Mountain Heritage Festival. From there, she says Brandon has helped to create a culture of care and service in the community, and not just as a forecaster, but a friend to all, with a joy that was contagious.
To have a true friend like Brandon Robinson, just you feel blessed to get to know him. You meet so many people in your life that you meet them and you go on about your life. But when you meet Brandon, he's one of those that stays with you forever and will be with us forever.
Kraft says the city will be looking for a way to permanently memorialize Brandon since he has done so much for Whitesburg. As we continue our coverage honoring WYMT Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson, we take a look at how Brandon hoped you would remember him.